I got a bed in the back. You want me to rub your back? You want me to rub your nut sack? I think we should be fat. Can't say that word.
Why is this kind of joking not okay? Well, in order to understand that, you have to understand Adin's audience. Adin's a Twitch streamer with over 4.5 million followers and 28 million views on the platform. Most of these followers are between the age of 13 and 24 years old.
But you also have another joke where you kind of like, the joke is that like you're sus or that you're like hitting on people and pretending to be gay. Do you think that is homophobic?
Of course, that's, I think if I answer that speaking about somebody, you know, who happens to be a part of the LGBTQ plus community, I can't do that. I'm not in their shoes. I feel like that's very ignorant for me to say, yo, no, that's not homophobic, because somebody might be offended by that,
right,
you know, that watches me. So I can't say that. However, I can tell you that I will never, and no matter what I'm doing content wise, I'll never ever sit there and hate on somebody because of their sexuality.
If you've got like a dude there and then you start to pretend like you're hitting on him, so what is the joke?
Well, no, there's no joke. I would just say it's like, it's funny to me.
So what's the joke though? What's funny about it?
I would just say, you know, back in high school, I used to just mess around with my friends. Like, you know, I would just like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't want it to sound weird. Like, I would just like say like, you're hot, you're cute. Like, I want to fuck you. Like, just as a joke, bro.
And these young kids don't just view one or two of Adin's videos. And every time he makes another gay joke, it just reinforces over and over and over that being gay is something to be joked about.
Do you have demographics on the age of the people who watch you? Like, do you have any idea how many people who are under 21 that watch you?
I want to say it's anywhere between 8th grade and college students.
We know Adin Ross's demographic because he went to Universal recently. You know, a lot of people came up to him at Universal. They were
a lot of younger people.
Pretty young.
Let me help put this into perspective for you. Being queer is a spectrum. We don't all figure it out at the same exact time, but it's pretty common for young kids around the age of 12 or 13 to start to realize this. So imagine you're a kid that age, maybe 13 or so. You've been passively told for many years that men are attracted to women and vice versa. And you learn these things. You learn them through your parents. Most of us have straight parents. It's not that they did anything wrong. It's just that they're straight. And that sets a role model. Or you learn it through TV and movies that are constantly portraying couples, straight couples, guys that were chasing the girl, and all these types of stories over and over. Or you learn it through your friends at school, where, you know, some of these young kids, they just know that they're supposed to, you know, sort of gawk at or take interest in the opposite sex. So they start, even if they're young enough, like pretending to do it even before they actually genuinely feel those feelings. But certainly when they start feeling those feelings, it gets, you know, a lot more prevalent. And now imagine you're 13 and you're starting to feel some of these feelings for the first time in your life, but you're feeling them for the same sex. And you also happen to be a fan of Adin Ross. You're watching his stream every day, and you see him joke about it. You see him pretend to be gay and then laugh after with his friends and his buddies. I'm assuming you're a pretty smart kid and pretty intuitive here, so you're going to realize that if you are one of these queer people that he's making fun of, that you're going to become the joke. You are the actual thing that they're joking about. I, as an adult man, don't want to be a joke. And I definitely, if I'm 13 years old, don't want to be a joke. So what would you do in this position? Would you want to come out about it? Would you want to bury that secret? And that's where the shame and the guilt starts. And that leads to the well-known ongoing issues of mental health in the gay community. Why do you think pride is such a big deal for queer people? It's not just an accident that we chose that word. It's about reversing the damage caused by people like you, Adin, who put us in a shameful position. And it's about refusing that shame. Even if you don't have an experience like the one I just described, which makes it so obvious why these gay jokes are unacceptable. It literally takes 10 seconds to Google it. Oh, Slate has an article about it. So here we see Adin's jokes are referred to as queer discourse, imitating queers by acting out in an exaggerated femininity and or by pretending to sexually desire other boys. Adin does both of these things. After imitating a queer, boys assure others that they are not a queer by instantly becoming masculine again. Does this sound familiar, folks? Yes, all of this stuff is what Adin does. By the way, this study was written in 2007. You are not clever, Adin, or innovating on anything. The view that one can joke about queers and queer behavior in a manner that is somehow divorced from real homophobia is massively short-sighted. It's egocentric and naive to assume that as a straight guy, one can ridicule gay-adjacent stuff without consequences like perpetuating prejudice against real gay people, at least indirectly. It is a delusion of privilege. Adin has announced that he is donating 10% of his stream earnings to LGBTQ causes. This is a bad thing. Adin has not announced the organization yet, by the way, and this is probably for a reason. He may be actually having a hard time giving it away because he has been so damaging to young queer people in his work.
You know what bothers
are you
me?
still donating to the LG community, Adin?
I am indeed, sir. I'm actually right now, we're trying to find a community that wants me to donate my percentage, so.
Is there communities
Good.
that are not taking your money? Because you said you're looking for people that want your money. Is it possible that they just say, no, we don't want your money?
But even if he does dupe an organization into taking his money, it only proves one thing, that there is at least one organization that is LGBTQ plus and needs the money more than they need to do proper research of where the money came from. And that ultimately puts an LGBTQ organization at risk. It doesn't absolve the damage he is doing to his young audience and to the future of the actual gay community. These kids who are viewing him are going to grow up, and they're going to be shaped by his behavior. Adin, the gay community is not your playing ground for jokes. Even if you are truly questioning your own sexuality, it's still never okay to do it at the expense of millions of young children who are harmed by your thoughtless and egocentric choices. Stop being a piece of shit.
Fire.
Love you, baby.
Whoa! Hey, yo!
Behind you.